Live from First Trust Home Loans Field at Yellowjackets Stadium in Sheridan, Arkansas, this is El Dorado Wildcat football coverage at South Arkansas Now and SouthArkansasNow.com. The Wildcats close out the regular season with a familiar foe, the Sheridan Yellowjackets, and we have the game coming your way. Coverage tonight is brought to you in part by Glenn Mechanical. When you want the job done right the very first time. ProMed Ambulance, world-class care and hometown values. Equipment Share. Find out how easy the job can be with Equipment Share. Dyson Service Company, your local Lennox dealer. This is what perfect feels like. Union Kinlan Farm Supply. No one has more corn, rice bran, and feed for your hunting season. Cartide. We're with you. Cross Roofing. Put a solid future above your head. Harrison Financial Management. Your future, their commitment. Carl Malone Family of Dealerships. Once again, the mailman delivers. Lanxess. Know what's below? Call 811 before you dig. El Dorado Custom Carpets. Covering the floors, kitchens, and bathrooms of South Arkansas for nearly 50 years. Cadence Bank. Opportunity lives here. Cook's Body Shop. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's. Country Village Sporting Goods. Everything you need to get you to the water or the woods is at Country Village. Davis Farms Country Market. True, grown locally, farm to table fresh. Especially for you. Anyone can buy a gift card. The best gifts are made especially for you. Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy and State Farm is there. LSB Industries. Find your extraordinary at lsbindustries.com. Murphy Arts District. For the latest information, go to eldomad.com. The Rushing Law Firm. Stop the harassing phone calls and collections when you have someone in your corner. That's the Rushing Law Firm. Southern Sass Image and Design. The official photographers for South Arkansas Now and SouthArkansasNow.com. Off the Rail Cafe. What's better than Arkansas chocolate gravy or shrimp and grits? How about eating them in a car built in 1883? U.S. Senator Tom Cotton. Want to know more about your U.S. Senator? Go to tomcotton.com. Timberlane Meat Market. Eat local. Eat often. Timberlane Meat Market. Madhouse 101. From romantic date nights to live entertainment, check out madhouse101.com. Mystic Creek Golf Club, the #1 rated golf course in Arkansas. Check out golfmysticcreek.com. PCI, Arkansas Business of the Year. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypales.com/careers. And now, let's go live to First Trust Home Loans Field at Yellowjacket Stadium in Sheridan, Arkansas with Jack Sanford and Carter Bryant.
And welcome to the Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show. Get more, save more when you let Jason Hardy and his team with State Farm quote not only your home, but also your auto, RVs, campers, and more. It's really a no-brainer. Go to www.jasonhardyinsurance.com for a quote today. Or you can just give me a call because I work up there with old Jason, 870-863-8278. And Carter, we are here at First Trust Home Loan Field here at Yellowjacket Stadium in beautiful Sheridan, Arkansas. And Carter, it's been a while since you've been my partner. Yes. I really don't even know how to approach it tonight. I've missed you, man.
Yes. The wedding DJ world called me in, and it's funny, Jax. Something very weird is happening at Sheridan Stadium right now. Tonight is homecoming. Normally the final home game of the season for the Yellowjackets is what? It's senior night.
Right.
But tonight they're doing homecoming. They decided to switch some things up, and it's bad for all these ladies out here in dresses because it's a little chilly out here. You see Jax is in long sleeves. I am in long sleeves. So we're going to have a misty, dewy type of night. It's not raining, but it is a little moist. I know a lot of people don't like that word, but it's a tad bit moist. Now, here's the thing. Shout out to Carl Malone and the keys to the game. I'm going to give you a big one here, Jax. For the most part, barring some kind of miracle beyond comprehension, El Dorado will host a playoff game next week at Memorial Stadium. Sheridan, of course, they're still fighting for playoff seeding there. But the big storyline for me, Jax, are the coaches. So you have Chris Hill on one sideline. Of course, Chris has had an absolutely legendary career. And then you have probably the biggest celebrity coach in all of Arkansas high school football, maybe in all of high school football, in Kevin Kelly, the 9-time state championship head coach at Pulaski Academy. So far at Sheridan, it's not been great. He had 2 wins last season. He only has 3 this year. And guess what? The Yellowjackets this season have given up 80-plus points 3 times this season, and they gave up 84 to El Dorado last season in a loss. So can they stop this powerful El Dorado offense?
You know, and that's the big question that every Sheridan fan is asking tonight is can we stop that El Dorado offense, and can we break through that El Dorado defense? This El Dorado defense has proven all year that they are one of the most physical teams in all of Arkansas, if not the most physical team. This El Dorado offense has continued to produce all year, averaging just under 40 points per game. They had a 51-7 win over West Memphis 2 weeks ago, 44-21 win against Jonesboro last week, and that was after coming off of a 2-game loss streak against Benton and Sylvan Hills earlier in the season. And I know that Coach Hill is coming out here and he wants to make a statement with this win over Sheridan tonight. He wants to make sure that there are no question marks around El Dorado in any aspects of the game. Just coming out of tonight, he wants to make sure that his guys and everybody in Arkansas knows that these Wildcats are serious.
And before we get to this Chris Borowski interview, he stepped in for Coach Hill this week. I do want to bring up here, Jax, that not every Sheridan fan is in favor of how the Yellowjackets play football. It's a very hectic style. We'll tell you one stat about their onside kick performances this season, and that's coming up a little bit later in the Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show.
Yeah, and so I went to OBU with the head coach, Kevin Kelly. I went to OBU with his son, Zach Kelly, who is also a coach for these Yellowjackets, and this is the same coach that came famous out of Pulaski Academy for never punting, always going for the onside and playing risky football, a little bit more new-aged. And you're right. Even in just the short time that we've been here, Carter, we've actually had a few people come up and tell us that there are fans who are not fans of the coaching style and feel like it has cost them some games more than it's won them. And it's definitely a question mark surrounding Sheridan is how explosive their offense can be, being a 4-down offense, versus how defensive their defense can be and what explosive plays they can stop.
One quick thing before we get to this break. The big star in this game for both teams, wear number 6. You have J.J. Samuel for El Dorado, one of the best running backs to ever play at this school. And coming up a little bit later, you're going to want to learn about Sheridan's number 6. This is a young man that already has a Power 4 offer at the running back position. This is actually the 4th time El Dorado has played a P4 offered running back this year, so it's going to be absolutely fun coming up here.
And first time in the season when El Dorado faced 2 Power 4 defensive, or at least defensive Division I running backs, El Dorado shut down that offense. Didn't allow much to happen, and so I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do tonight. Sheridan is, and we'll talk more about this in the keys to the game, but Sheridan is facing a lot of injuries right now. They've also got a sophomore quarterback starting over a senior. And so there's definitely some question marks around this Sheridan team, and I feel like El Dorado is going to come out and be able to dominate tonight as long as the defense shows up and the offense does their jobs. And so with that being said, we're going to take a really quick break, and we'll be back right here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Derrick Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay, and this is Auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess.
At the Carl Malone family of dealerships, Ford El Dorado, Chevy El Dorado, Toyota El Dorado, and Carl Malone Toyota of Ruston, the mailman always delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and over 150 quality pre-owned options, you're sure to find the perfect ride. Looking to sell? We'll buy your vehicle, paid on the spot. 4 dealerships, one name you can trust, Carl Malone. Because when it comes to great deals, the mailman delivers.
PCI has been shaping the future of manufacturing for over 40 years, and they're doing it right here in El Dorado, Arkansas. PCI is one of America's leading producers of polyethylene containers, known for quality, innovation, and teamwork. Join a fast-paced, rewarding career where your work keeps the world moving. And because PCI is a veteran-owned company, they value things like dedication, diversity, and drive. Are you ready to take your career to the next level? Apply today at polypails.com/careers. Welcome to your Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show for Wildcat football. When you let Jason Hardy and his staff quote your home, auto, RV, four-wheelers, boats, and more, you'll really see it's a no-brainer. And like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy and State Farm is there. Sitting in for Coach Hill this week, Coach Chris Borowski. Along with the coach, here's the voice of the El Dorado Wildcats, Carter Bryant.
Chris Borowski stepping in for the head man here. What were the keys to victory last week for you, Coach?
Oh, the keys to victory last week, no doubt, was I think a balanced offensive attack that we were able to display. Our passing game got a little bit more involved there. We got a lot of targets, different players getting targeted. So, we were able to kind of keep them off balance. So I was really pleased with that. And I felt like defensively, we knew they were going to be pretty tough as far as like trying to be a heavy running game. I really felt like we've had some guys that were have been in the shadows, really need to have some good games come in and step up. So I think Bertavion Brown as a linebacker, he's emerging as probably one of the top players in the state, as well as Ja'Cory Lumsey. And I felt like Spencer Poole had a much better game this week defensively. And so that's good. And then, of course, Marsavius had an interception there. And so I think defense, we started getting, kind of getting in our groove a little bit. And so, putting the whole picture together with offense, defense, special teams, all 3 phases of the game, that was good. It was good to do at home. The only negative takeaways, it's kind of hard to find those when you have a nice win at home on senior night, was we had a couple balls on the 1-yard line we didn't finish, so we left some points on the field. That was kind of frustrating, but nonetheless, we were able to overcome those throughout the game. So those are definitely some area of focus that we're going to touch on moving forward.
Yeah, take us behind the scenes when you start off the season getting blown out, then you get hot. Mm-hmm. And then you lose 2 in a row, and now you've won 2 in a row. How do you preach to your kids about these swings? What happened behind the scenes to get El Dorado back on track?
I was on the radio show last night. We talked about one key word is resilience. I think early in the season, Little Rock Christian, we were trying to still find our offensive identity, I guess you would say. So we struggled quite a bit. And then in the second half, that was a much different ball game. And so we were able to see some sparks, and we go back to the drawing board every week, every day, and say, hey, what are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? We need to exploit our strengths. We need to improve our weaknesses. And so we're finding different ways. And of course, the preseason, you're still evaluating your talent, your kids. We've had a summer. You're going against everybody else's best. This is our best. So who can really step up? Who's ready for Friday night action? Who's showing that we need to give them more touches, or who's showing that maybe on the other side we need to find some help around them or whatever. So it's always a chess match back and forth. And at the same time, we're always reminded that we are dealing with high school kids. We're doing from 15 to 18-year-olds. And so that's one thing you constantly have to preach every day is these emotional up and down. And this is a game of momentum. This is a game of emotion. So, how do we respond when things are going our way? How do we respond when things don't go our way? How do we overcome bad breaks? How do we create opportunities? And so we do that every day. And biggest thing for our kids is we got to preach the same message to them every day. Hey, we got to do what we do. We got to play Wildcat football. We got to hold ourselves to the standard of winning. We got to hold ourselves to that standard in practice in the weight room day after day. If you trust the process, the growth will happen. And so, it's been up and down. It was good to see Friday to finally settle in and say, hey, the Cats can play. I was really upset about the Sylvan Hills game and Benton. I'm taking nothing away from those guys. They are two really good teams, and they have done a really good job this year. It was just kind of frustrating because we were not firing on all cylinders those two games, and that's the nature of the beast. We got to be ready to play at the highest level every Friday. And so nonetheless, you get frustrated about it, but those were humongous learning moments for our kids in the game of football as well as the game of life. How do we overcome adversity? How do we respond when things aren't going our way? So our kids have been phenomenal. Our senior class that we have, I said Ja'Cory Lumsey, Cannon Jacobs, Paxton Strong, and there's some others, but those three really have just kind of emerged as our vocal leaders as well as leaders in their day-to-day with their actions and how they go. So, hey, they said, guys, this isn't good enough. This, what we're doing is good, but I think we got more. And that's kind of the message that we've been preaching. Hey, we gotta win the day. We can't worry about an opponent. We got to win today. We got to beat every obstacle that El Dorado can put in front of itself in order to prepare for anything anybody else can put in front of us.
You've coached both footballs, and when you took over that job, I remember because you were replacing a legend. You're replacing my soccer coach, and you stepped in, and you that wasn't really what you're known for. You're a great American football coach, and I thought about that when you were talking about the adversity stuff. What have you learned as you've risen up the ranks as a coach? Because El Dorado is essentially you. I mean, your family has businesses here. You worked your way up from middle school all the way up to the varsity high school level as the offensive coordinator of the Wildcats.
Oh, man, first of all, it's all glory to God. Nothing I do has been in my power. Everything has been a blessing bestowed upon me. I feel like teaching, coaching, education is a calling. It's a mission field. And that's got to be primary focus, number one. Building quality relationships in kids and players. That's got to be our area of focus. Once we do that, the sport is a tool. The sport is just a tool that we use to help develop kids and young people today as they become grown-ups, as they go out into the world. And it's just been a phenomenal journey so far. And again, I've been very blessed in that aspect. But I mean, I think the message is the same. What do I need to do in this moment that's going to help this kid individually be successful? And you do that, multiply times 500 times 1,000 a day, and let that be the focus, and hold each one to the same standard, instill some belief in themselves, some confidence in themselves. We're here to teach, but we're also here to empower. We want to empower these kids with the abilities and the choices that they're going to make, and have them a skill set to do that as they go forth and go forward. So I've been really privileged to work for some great people, and really had to be very intentional about seeking what I don't know, humble myself to the point where, like, hey, I'm okay with asking for help. I'm okay with seeking wise counsel. I'm okay with looking for those guys that have gray hair and say, hey, tell me what you've learned in your lifetime, and let me find out what's best for our kids. And that's in everything that we do. And I think our El Dorado staff that we have here now in football and all our other sports, they're invested in our kids, and it's great. There's a sense of pride here in El Dorado. And it's it just means a little something. It's a little more personal. Obviously there has been opportunities to go elsewhere, but I sit there and think, well, God, this is my mission field. This is where you've called me to be. And if there was somewhere else to go, you would do that. But I'm fully invested in pouring into the town that's given so much to me and my family as well. It's just a great place to be, you know, and I'm very fortunate, very, very privileged to be able to work in this school, in this town, that kind of has a personal effect to me.
It's interesting when you get ready for Sheridan here, because the El Dorado Sheridan rivalry, if you will, is one of the longest tenured ones. This is one of the teams that El Dorado has played the most, even through all the conference shifts and rearrangements and realignment and all that stuff. And now Sheridan has a coach in Kevin Kelly, who's a celebrity. I mean, he's a very successful coach, and the Bill Belichick angle, all that stuff. And there have been 3 games where the opposing team has put up 80-plus points. So what stands out to you about Sheridan on film, and how do you get ready to play a team that plays this very chaotic style of football?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely the hard part. And, defensively, trying to plan to go against the non-traditional things that you're going to see from Kevin Kelly, who does a phenomenal job. You got to, again, really remind yourself of who are we defensively as a whole. The more you try to change, the more you try to say we're gonna line up a different way for this. There's too many different formations, and you're gonna find yourself probably making more mistakes than you will in being successful. And so the biggest thing, is be sound. We have to be sound, and we have to put our kids in position to be successful. And sometimes that means us as coaches need to take a step back from wanting to do so much. And there's so many things on paper that we can do and draw up and move the marker around, so to speak. But at the end of the day, it's, can we put our guys in a position to be successful where they can play confident, where they don't have to think as much and they can just play. And I think that's going to be a big thing moving forward into this game against Sheridan. And it's kind of the same thing from our offensive side. We're going to see multiple fronts, multiple alignments and coverages out of them, just to try to keep us guessing, try to think how, there's really a test to see how disciplined of a football team can we be. Do we know our rules? Do we know versus whatever front they line up? Do we know by this point in time in the year, can we execute flawlessly? Can we not have an assignment bust, whatever they throw at us? And that's the hard thing. Again, it goes back to being good teachers, and we got to be good teachers this week and just really hone in on, hey guys, we got to be the best version of us that we can be, whatever they are. Don't look for the hype. Don't fall for the flash and flare. They're going to score points. I think they're averaging roughly 38 and some change, close to 40 points a game. And they've had 3 games where they've given up 80. But nonetheless, they're going to create opportunities, and in that chance of trying to create, with onside kicks, going for it on 4th down, they're going to get some, and our job this week is big time on special teams is we got to limit those possessions for them, because they have shown that they can score points. They probably have one of the best players in 6A over there at running back, and they move him at receiver. And this kid's just a junior. Like he can go. And so we definitely going to have to find ways to make sure that we have eyes on him at all times, and make sure that we have to make them rely on something else. So, take away their strength and see what else do they have for us in store there.
This has been our sit down with head coach Chris Hill for the El Dorado Wildcats, brought to you by Jason Hardy State Farm. Like a good neighbor, Jason Hardy and State Farm is there. After this commercial break, we come back with our Carl Malone keys to the game. Serving South Arkansas for 25 years, and all the while expanding and growing throughout the state, ProMed Ambulance is proving their motto of world-class care and hometown values. For example, their new mobile integrated healthcare communication center. This state-of-the-art facility allows communication specialists to work directly with local 911 call centers to ensure the closest medical team is always dispatched to any emergency. World-class care and hometown values. For more information and career opportunities, go to ProMedAmbulance.com.
If you born and raised in Arkansas, make some noise right now. You got amazing place.
Non-stop phone calls,
right here in
registered
town.
mail. Repossessions or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It can be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
Rated the #1 course in Arkansas by Golf Week, Mystic Creek is truly a hidden gem, complemented by a modern clubhouse, complete with panoramic views. It also features a fully stocked pro shop and Mystic Grill serving contemporary American cuisine and Southern classics. Mystic Creek promises an unforgettable experience.
It's now time for Keys to the Game, brought to you by the Carl Malone family of dealerships. Once again, the mailman delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and more than 150 previously owned vehicles, you're always sure to find what you want at Carl Malone family of dealerships. Now, let's go back to the stadium for today's Keys to the Game.
And welcome to the Jason Hardy State Farm pregame show. And this is the Carl Malone Keys to the Game. And Carter, let's go ahead and hop into it. Go ahead and give me your number one key to the game. I mean, key in the ignition. I mean, this game can't even get started without this key to the game.
Yeah, you got to talk about the two number 6s. It's J.J. Samuel, one of the best El Dorado High School running backs of all time. Obviously, we know what JJ can do. We know the injuries he has played through this season. And you get to the other side of the football, Zay Stevens, number 6, is a young man that is only a junior. He's got offers to play all throughout college football. He's got a few P4 offers as well. This will be one of the best all-around running backs El Dorado has played all this season. These are Zay Stevens' numbers on the year. 1,189 yards rushing, 589 yards receiving.
Wow.
And 22 total touchdowns. Now, we get to that next Carl Malone key to the game, injuries.
That's
El
right.
Dorado, you have got to give this entire coaching staff a lot of credit for their strength and conditioning program. El Dorado, of course, they will be without a key player tonight. Number 7, Justin Hammond, will not be available for the Cats. But other than that, the injury bug has been favorable for El Dorado, whereas Sheridan, when they play that hectic style of football, their top 3 wide receivers are out. So El Dorado is a healthier team, like you said, knock on wood. And then, of course, you look to the next week where El Dorado will begin their playoff run. They will be at home, regardless of what happens tonight. So hopefully you can walk out of this game unscathed, but it would be very nice for El Dorado because of seeding to get this W tonight.
That's right. That's right. And now, and you had the more thorough conversation about this, but if El Dorado, regardless of if El Dorado wins or not tonight, they're going to remain the 3rd seed unless
there's a huge upset with Benton, I believe. Now, here's the thing. El Dorado more than likely will host a familiar 6A foe in Lake Hamilton next week. That is the most likely case. We all remember what Philip Butterfield did to our hearts many a moons ago. That's more than likely who El Dorado will play next week. But I'll be honest, Jax, I don't care about the playoff seeding. I care about what happens tonight, because Friday night in Arkansas, there is nothing quite like high school football in the natural state. And guess what, y'all? We have it for you for free, baby. All we ask you to do is subscribe, like, share it with Meemaw, Papaw, main girls, your wedding mates, whoever you want.
Main chick, side chick.
All of them. Share it, because we want to make this the absolute best stream imaginable for you tonight. One more Carl Malone key to the game. This El Dorado offensive line, they have a huge size advantage. Now, I will say, Sheridan's got a few big guys. They have one 290-pound defensive lineman. They also have an offensive lineman currently committed to the Arkansas Razorbacks, but the rest of their line is tiny compared to El Dorado. So can they control the line of scrimmage?
That's going to be a big thing. Now, Carter, I expect to see the Wildcats go out and run the ball a lot tonight. They've been a running team all season, and Sheridan has had a hard time stopping the run this season. So that's going to be one more big thing. And so, with that being said, Carter, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll be ready for kickoff here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
For longer than most of us can remember, Timber Lane Meat Market has been a staple of our community, where quality meats and friendly faces come standard. From everyday dinners to weekend cookouts, make it fresh, make it local, make it Timber Lane. Be sure to check out the daily lunch specials and like us on Facebook. Timber Lane Meat Market, 1336 West Hillsboro in El Dorado. Proud to be part of South Arkansas, and even more proud to be displayed on your table.
Good. We'll be going.
And welcome back to Yellowjacket Stadium with your Wildcat football coverage provided by South Arkansas Now. And we are getting ready for kickoff here. Sheridan Yellowjackets did win the kickoff and chose to receive to start the game. That means the Wildcats will get the ball to start the second half. And Carter, we are just mere moments away from kickoff. And tell me just one more thing that you're excited about for Wildcat football tonight.
Well, you got to call the game last week. Cannon Jacobs, one of the best games of his career, 193 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and an 80% completion percentage. As you do see the Yellowjackets take the field now, they have a cool little smoky intro. You can see some of that smoke burrowing in. And let me tell you what, this El Dorado Wildcat team, they are fired up, ready to go. And look, El Dorado, a lot of players on this team wear visors. It is foggy out here. It's also very smoky. I doubt this smoke is going to be cleared up by kickoff. So, look, you might be playing this game in the middle of a Michael Jackson Thriller music video here.
There we go.
You could see, I could see Michael Jackson coming out in the red jacket out of that smoke you see on your screen right now. And guess what? It's going to be a thriller tonight. And look, the weather is pitch perfect here in Sheridan. I cannot believe we get to be together yet again, Jax. We have not been together for a full month. But guess what? The good Lord has decided to bring us all back together for one final game. And here's my favorite thing about El Dorado versus Sheridan. It's not only that El Dorado's absolutely dominated this matchup. The Wildcats are 9-1 versus Sheridan over the past decade. It's that this is one of those old 6A rivalries.
That's right.
With all these rearranging. Sheridan is one of the few teams, along with Benton, that El Dorado's been playing for decades and decades and decades. And Sheridan has not beaten El Dorado since 2019. One thing about this Yellowjacket team, they have given up 80-plus points 3 times this season. They gave up 80-plus points 1 time last season, and that was to El Dorado in an 84-50 game. Okay, so I am really, really ready for this one.
I'm ready for this one too, Carter, and it looks like we're going to have to wait a second as we wait for the smoke to clear the field.
What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you?
You did. You called it, and everybody's hoping for just a slight breeze to come out so that the smoke will be blown away and we can get this game underway. But as they get ready, as they're lining up for the kickoff now, this is a Equipment Share kickoff here at Yellowjacket Stadium, brought to you by Equipment Share. Whether it be a DIY project or a commercial project, get it kicked off right with Equipment Share.
It looks like Cheech and Chong is having a house party at midfield here.
What a reference. What a reference. Good pull. Good pull. And Carter, I'm so excited to see just the level of physicality that the Wildcats bring into this game tonight. Again, and I know that we say it every week, but this Wildcat defense has continued to be probably the most physical defense in all of Arkansas. You've got guys who hit hard like Bertavian Brown, Ja'Cory Lumsey. You've got guys who are ball hawks like Marsavius Ishmael. You've got defensive linemen like Jervalen Jr. who are constantly getting in the backfield. This is a very, very physical Wildcat team, and I'm excited to see what they can do tonight against this struggling Yellow Jacket team.
And while we wait, why don't we go on ahead and knock out the LSB trivia question? Can you, in the chat, name the famous NFL coach that Kevin Kelly has consulted in the past decade? Okay,
that's a good one.
Okay, do you know who it is?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I know Sandy back in the studio knows.
Oh, maybe I do.
Okay, so for those in the chat, I'm going to give you a hint. Many consider him the GOAT coach, but they don't consider him the GOAT now. I'll put it like that.
All right, and it looks like they're about to kick it off.
And I know you can barely see, but Flores decides to go with the pooch. The ball is loose. Can we find the football? And it'll go to the Sheridan Yellowjackets here. We are underway. Sheridan, of course, a team that many people consider one of the more dangerous in all of 6A. You cannot prepare for what Sheridan throws your way. This is a very hectic team that's given up, like we said, defensively, 80-plus points in 3 separate games. They've also this season averaged 54.2 points per game. They are led by their running back, number 6, Zay Stevens, but also leading the way for them is Arkansas commit, number 52, Bradley Sturdivant. At quarterback, it is the sophomore getting the call tonight, Easton Barksdale. And he'll take the snap. Ethan back to pass, checks it down to Zay Stevens. He cuts out to the right side, runs straight out of bounds for a gain of 4.
And smart choice by Zaven there to get out of bounds. They got a solid 3 or 4 yards. It's going to set up a second and about 6 for the Yellow Jackets, and smart play.
They do not like to huddle. A little shovel to the right side. And a great piece of defense from the Wildcats. Leading the way for El Dorado is number 3, Josiah Moore.
And that's going to set up a third and about medium for the Yellow Jackets here. And they've gone with a quick screen pass and then a quick little run with a pull. Let's see what they decide to go with next here. Oh, and it looks like they're getting a call from the sideline still.
Kevin Kelly likes to do a lot of checks, in particular on 3rd down. Sheridan, draped in blue, decides to get into empty. So far this season, the Wildcats have been really good defending this formation. El Dorado, no defensive lineman in a 3-point stance. And they're getting a lot of pressure here, and it's intercepted. Oh! Number 1, Ja'Cory Lumsey. There's not a single linebacker in El Dorado history you would want more in that spot than number 1, who has some of the best hands you'll ever see. You wonder if the smoke on the field distracted him there. And, of course, you have to know this about a Kevin Kelly coach team. Punting is extinct for the Yellow Jackets.
4th and 4 for the Yellow Jackets here.
El Dorado, this is a very bizarre alignment. They are electing to have no 3-point stance defensive lineman. They call this an amoeba front. Back to pass is Sturdivant. And it's incomplete. What great defense for the Cats. Wes Abels, the defensive coordinator, is hyper-galactic right now. And El Dorado on the road will have great field position here. 1st and 10 to the Cats.
And Carter, that's something that the fans in the stands and at home need to get used to watching, is that this Yellow Jackets team is going to go for it every 4th down. They do not punt. It doesn't matter if it's 4th and 18 on their own 9. As we heard from some Yellow Jacket fans earlier today, it doesn't matter where it is. They're going for it on 4th down.
Cannon Jacobs, fresh off of one of his best games last week at home versus Jonesboro. Play action pass. They have it set up to Bronson Brock, and if he catches that, Jax, he is waltzing into the end zone.
And just forgot that he also has to reel in the ball.
And Jaquaylin Morris, the defensive tackle for Sheridan's a really good player. It's JJ up the gut. JJ Samuel! He will score.
And that is already an El Dorado Murphy Arts District down for the Wildcats. For more information, go to eldomad.com. Carter, that was an explosive run by J.J. Samuel up the middle. He found an open gap. He found open field. And now the Wildcats already take a 6-0 lead as they line up for the field goal here now.
Number 82, Byron Henriquez, has been nothing short of incredible. Extra point is up, and it is Gucci.
All right, it is good. That's going to make it a 7-0 lead for the Wildcats over the Sheridan.
Need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going every step of the way.
Can El Dorado defensively get another fourth down stop? We do have an answer for the LSB trivia question. We have quite a few people that got this right. My neighbor, Demetria Ganter, was the first in the YouTube chat, along with Get Pape KD. It was Bill Belichick who is the answer. And then, of course, we have Medina also getting that correct for the LSB trivia question. Yes, it is true. Kevin Kelly, the opposing coach, has done some work with Bill Belichick of the Patriots. It's a handoff up the gut. And this is what you have to be worried about. Zay Stevens, he just needs one gash, Jackson. He can go.
And that already gives the Sheridan Yellowjackets a first down, a fresh set of downs there. It was a strong run up the middle. It took two Wildcat defensive players to bring him down for the tackle.
It's not hard to see the Arkansas commit on the field right now. Number 52, Bradley Sturdivant, a towering left tackle. It's Zay Stevens in the flat yet again. What a juke from Zay Stevens. And he falls forward for what looks to be another first down here.
It is going to be another first down. That's two first downs in a row for the Yellowjackets. They've got a little momentum as they make it their way into Wildcat territory. Ball spotted right on about the 45-yard line.
Once again, El Dorado without one of their best defenders in Justin Hammond tonight. Back to pass for Sheridan. Lots of pressure, and El Dorado's going to clamor for an intentional grounding. Look at Wes Abels on the sideline, jumping up and down, and the referees will congregate here.
They are going to congregate. I doubt that they throw anything after the play has already ended, and they're taking another huddle. But that was a very valid point from Coach Wes Abels, wanting the intentional grounding there. It couldn't. Oh, and there it is. There's a flag. There is a flag on the play. And let's make sure that they are going to call intentional grounding here. And they're marching the football back. That's what it's going to be. And that is going to be a intentional grounding. 10-yard. No, 50.
It's a spot of the foul.
Spot of the foul. That's right.
Wherever the sack was lined up. But yeah, normally with those intentional grounding calls, they can go either way. It just depends on where he was on the tackle box. And I'm glad Wes Abels screened up and down because it looks as if they were going to miss that. So far for El Dorado, the price has been right. Cats winning 7-0, 9:59 left to go in this first quarter. Back to pass to Sturdivant, and it looks as if we'll have a false start here, Jax.
It does look like it does look that way. And what? No, they just blew the ball dead. They blew it dead.
Okay, it looks as if they didn't get the yard marker or whatever correct. That is very bizarre that they blew that dead. Kevin Kelly's not happy about that. He normally likes to go fast, and he liked the look that he saw defensively. Sheridan with three receivers to the right side. Bertavian Brown, number 5 on your screen. Lined up in the slot. His feet on the Yellow Jacket is a superstar. Back to pass to Sturdivant. Pocket stays firm. Sturdivant to the right side. Throws it into heavy traffic, and it's the second dropped interception of the night. This time, number 0, Spencer Poole.
And you know that these Wildcat defensive players are just kicking themselves for not getting 2 interceptions, 2 dropped interception chances for the Wildcat defense so far, but there was blanket coverage on that play. The quarterback had nowhere to go, tried to squeeze it into a pocket that just didn't fit, almost was intercepted. That's going to set up 3rd and 25 for the Yellowjackets. 3rd and 25 with the ball on the Yellowjacket 40-yard line.
Looks as if it's twins to the left and right for the Yellowjackets. They decide to hand it off to Zay, and he cuts back. Zay Stevens is able to get back to about the initial line to gain, and it will be 3rd down and smack over. No, it'll be 4th down and smack over, and of course you know Sheridan's going for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4th and about 11 and a half for them there.
Sheridan, the Yellowjackets, Sturdivant back to pass, throws it deep, and it's dropped again.
Oh, my goodness. That was almost intercepted once again. And so that's going to be a turnover on downs. Wildcats are going to take over on offense here. They're going to have the ball on their own 47-yard line to start this drive.
Bronson Brock was there, number 19. And I'll be honest, Caleb Jacobs and Cyril Wright, a great group of secondary coaches for El Dorado. They are not going to be happy when they turn on the film knowing all these dropped interceptions, but this Wildcat defense has been dominant up to this point, as has J.J. Samuel, who's already scored a touchdown tonight. The El Dorado Wildcats have been a group of righteous gemstones here in Sheridan. Caleb Jacobs takes the snap, back to pass, throws the screen to Jackson Pagan, and Jackson's got room to the 30, to the 20, and Jackson Pagan will score!
And that is another Murphy Arts District touchdown for your Wildcats. That's going to take the score to 13-0, barring an extra point attempt from the Wildcats. And, looks like there is some dirty laundry on the field, and that play is actually going to end up coming back.
Wow.
And from where it's thrown at on the field, I was illegal block in the back by El Dorado. That's going to bring that play back. It's going to be from the spot of the foul. So it looks like they're going to place it on the El Dorado 38-yard line. So that is going to make it about 20-yard difference for the first down that the Wildcats are going to have to aim for here.
It didn't look like much, and you could see the Sheridan sideline wasn't really clamoring for a penalty. Here we go. El Dorado moving their offensive lineman around. And it's dropped again. They brought in defensive end number 30, Jervalen Jr., who's mostly an offensive player. If Jervalen catches that, he is walking all the way to the new Chick-fil-A location in El Dorado. My goodness gracious, the Cats almost had another touchdown there. So now it's 2nd down and forever. And that's the 4th point-blank drop. 3 drop picks and a drop touchdown. Wow. 9:02 left to go in this first quarter. Wildcats still up 7-0. Handoff to the left side is to JJ, and he barrels through. JJ Samuel, get the chalk out, line out. Ladies and gentlemen, are you kidding me? JJ Samuel says, get off me, and he will score.
And there is no flags on the play. That is going to be a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. J.J. Samuel just took this game up to 13-0 for the Wildcats with an extra point attempt coming. And golly, Carter, it was get off of me, Gorilla Zoe is in the house. That is how J.J. ran through that Sheridan defense. And so now they're going to go for an extra point attempt. And Carter, the Wildcats have not missed an extra point attempt that has not been bobbled all season.
Extra point is up, and it's good.
And it is good. So that's going to make it 14-0. Your Wildcats up. 8:46 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim, and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's. Getting a buck to hang on the wall rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
The Sheridan Yellowjacket offensive line, it is going to be a long night for their quarterback.
We say hi to Scotty Z, Pat, Raquibia in the chat. It's a quick pitch to Zay Stevens here to the left side. Zay Stevens spins away, and he'll fall forward here for a Yellow Jacket first down.
That was a great run. It was a great pitch. He got to the outside with explosive speed, was finally brought down by the Wildcats, but not before getting into Wildcat territory on about the 47-yard line.
El Dorado dealing with the Sheridan offense. They've not allowed the Yellow Jackets to cross midfield yet, but they finally get it done here. Sturdivant back to pass. And Jervalen Jr., while he did drop the touchdown, Jax, he's been in the backfield basically every play.
Again, if the Sheridan quarterback has to worry about the sack on every single play, he's going to have a long night. It's going to be stressful for him. He's going to make mistakes, and the Wildcat defense will prosper. And actually, they did make it across the half field mark on their last drive, but they ate some penalties and went way back into their own territory.
El Dorado up 14-0. 8:09 left to go in this first quarter. Sturdivant throws it quickly, and it's incomplete. Been out with a concussion. And we'll see what the Wildcats can do defensively here.
And that's going to set up a 3rd down and 10. 8:05 left to go here in the first quarter.
Dead ball snap to Zay Stevens. And he goes nowhere. It's a host of El Dorado Wildcats on the tackle. And, of course, Sheridan will go for it on 4th and 9 here. Obviously, you have to keep an eye out for number 30, Jervalen Jr., flaming off the left side there. We told you in the Karl Malone pregame
that they have actually had to double-team Gavin Briggs several times tonight, and he's almost gotten through, and that time he actually does. There is a flag on the play, but it looks like it's going to be a holding call on the offense, and it is a declined penalty, so that means that the Wildcats are going to take possession of the ball here, and they're actually going to do so starting in Sheridan Yellow Jacket territory. Wildcats up 14-0, 7:28 left to go here in the first quarter. And this Wildcat offense has been explosive already. Let's see what they're able to make out of this drive. It looks like we don't have J.J. Samuel starting the drive in the backfield this time.
And it might not matter. This El Dorado offense has been deep all season. Number 28, Jeremiah Warner, a very dangerous running back in his own right. He goes into motion. So Cannon Jacobs in an empty set. And it looks as if we'll have a flag here. It's a false start on the Cats.
And that is a tough penalty for the Wildcats to take there. Not a way that you want to start out your drive. And so that is going to put them just in front of the half field mark, going to leave it still in Yellow Jacket territory.
And here we go. El Dorado. Cannon Jacobs, quick screen to Bronson Brock, and he gets up and grabs it. Bronson Brock to the left side, makes another guy miss. Bronson Brock, and the ball is loose. I think number 66, Christavion Meadows, has it. The ball is still dribbling around, and it will be Yellow Jacket football, recovered by number 33. Fingers. The Cats have had some ball security issues catching the football, and they lose it here. Wow, and the Yellow Jackets will take over on their own 10-yard line.
And that is tough for the Wildcats. Definitely not something you want to see. You don't want to get the other team on a turnover on downs and then immediately turn it back over. That is going to set up the Yellow Jackets. Actually, they're going to place the ball on the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know why they gave him an extra 10 there. Very bizarre situation there.
I didn't see a flag or anything called after the play either, so definitely confused, but such is life.
And here we go. Sturdivant back to pass. Throws it way high, and it'll set up 2nd and 10.
7:02 left to go here in the first quarter. Wildcats up 14-0. Yellow Jackets have the ball in their own territory at the 25-yard line, and after an overthrow, that is going to set up a 2nd and 10.
You would have needed to be Batman to catch that football way high.
Batman can't fly.
Well, he could have had some kind of contraption to get up there and make the play. Zace even bounces to the left side. What a tackle by number 5, Bratavion Brown. Wow.
He's going to get right back to the line of scrimmage, just going to get on the other hash mark. That's going to set up a 3rd, and it looks like they gave him about a yard, so it's actually going to set up about a 3rd and 9 for the Yellow Jackets.
Workaholics tonight. And I would be shocked if El Dorado blitzes here. They have gotten home with 4 all night long, but they're showing a blitz here, and they'll back out. And what a throw by Sturdivant under heavy pressure, and he'll pick up a 1st down while he was getting smashed. He's able to get it to the young man who recovered an onside kick a little bit earlier. That's Hunter Socia.
They're going to put the ball right at the 50-yard mark, and it was Christian Williams on the tackle there for the Wildcats, and that does give a 1st down to the Yellow Jackets. 6:07 left to go here in the first quarter.
Wildcats getting a 3-point stance. Oh, the ball is loose, and the El Dorado Wildcats will take over. It is number 52 for El Dorado, Maximus Wright. And the Cats offense, which has been hot all night, will get the football in Yellow Jacket territory.
And for those of you who are watching and the video is buffering, I'm sorry about that. We had some connectivity issues. People got close to the equipment. We are working on getting it resolved. Please bear with us as we continue to provide coverage for the Wildcat football game tonight. We are working to get things resolved.
El Dorado, with 5:56 left to go, can stretch this to a 3-possession game. Last possession, Bronson Brock lost it at the very last second. And it's Caleb Jacobs back to pass. He'll take off and run himself. Caleb Jacobs, there is a flag on the play, but Caleb Jacobs will first off take it all the way in.
But that is going to come back. They threw a flag down back behind the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it's going to be a hold on the Wildcats.
And El Dorado is incredulous here. They did not think that there was a hold on the play. It was number 64, Monty Livingston, pleading his case. And I don't know. I was trying to check a replay here. It does, and it's trivial. I'll be honest. It was close. But Caleb Jacobs, who last week was El Dorado's best offensive player. Had 193 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and an 80% completion percentage. Ironically, you saw his athleticism. He is committed to UAM to play wide receiver next year. So Caleb will take the snap. It'll be a handoff to Christian Williams, and Christian's got a seam. Christian Williams has the left sideline, and Christian Williams will take it all the way down, and number 36 gets a knuckle sandwich at the end of it, and that'll be enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down.
That was a huge gain of yardage there by Christian Williams, and a grown man showing of strength as number 36 for the Yellowjackets went up in the air after trying to take Christian Williams down.
Wildcats hands it off to J.J. Samuel, and finally Sheridan gets a defensive stop. A host of Yellowjackets in on the play, led by number 39. How about this name? Timber Russell.
Timber Russell. That is a heck of a name. And so that's going to set up 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. 5:14 left to go here in the first quarter.
And Cannon will take this snap with a lot of momentum. This El Dorado offense checking at the line of scrimmage. Sheridan finally gets a defensive stop. Cannon throws it deep to Bronson Brock, and there could have been a pass interference call. Looks like Bronson was bumped just a little. Bronson Brock so far had the amazing run earlier, but fumbled it there at the end. He did have a good case for PI there, and he'll set up this 3rd and 10. Back to pass is Cannon Jacobs. He keeps it, and he's got a seam. Cannon Jacobs cuts back, weaving through like a slalom skier. Touchdown, El Dorado!
And that is going to be a Murphy Arts District touchdown for the Wildcats. And that is going to take the score to 20-0 for the Wildcats. 4:42 left to go here in the first quarter as they line up for the extra point attempt.
Number 82, Bayron Henriquez has been here. We'll be back right after this. Cats up 21-0 on South Arkansas Now.
When it comes to protecting your home or business, trust the name that's been serving South Arkansas for 3 generations. Crossroad Future over your head.
Homes are typically heated or cooled 24/7, 365, using nearly half of all home energy. That new stainless steel refrigerator may look cool, but upgrading to the quietest and most efficient HVAC system can have much greater rewards. Choose a system with a Wi-Fi-enabled thermostat, so the most important appliance in the house is also the smartest, allowing you to set the perfect comfort level from anywhere. Presented by Lennox. Learn what perfect feels like at Lennox.com.
And we're back with another equipment share kickoff, and it is out of bounds. So we will see what this El Dorado defense can do. Special teams coach Keontae Larry was not pleased with that, knowing that this El Dorado defense has been really good. So the Yellowjackets will get excellent field position here. Plenty of time for Sheridan to get back in this. 4:42 left to go in this first quarter. El Dorado with a commanding 21-0 lead. El Dorado, a Cannon Jacobs touchdown, a J.J. Samuel touchdown. It's been the superstars showing out for the Cats tonight. Number 9, Sturdivant, the sophomore. Throws it quickly here to Zay Stevens in the flats. And Zay Stevens can't go anywhere. Marcevius Ismail with a really nice tackle. It'll set up 2nd and 8 for the Cats. We want to thank all our Wildcat partners this year, especially our friends at the El Dorado Murphy Arts District, ELDO. And obviously, every touchdown's technically, you can make a case, a first down. So big thanks to Glenn Mechanical, our first down partners this evening. Sturdivant out to the right side. This time, Sheridan does have some real estate to work with here. And finally, knocked out of bounds is number 28, Eli Turner. And that'll be enough for a Yellowjacket first down. El Dorado Wildcat football. Thanks to our friends yet again, and especially for you. Fellas, Christmas is around the corner. One of the best places to get a Christmas gift for the wifey, for the daughter, It's at Especially For You. Check them out, especially for you. Big-time supporters of El Dorado Wildcat football. A little bit of a stoppage here as they're trying to figure out something. It looks as if they are ready to go. Wes Abel's making a late check defensively. El Dorado's done a really good job switching up their fronts tonight. It's Zay Stevens again to the left side. He's got a crease. Zay Stevens making defenders miss, and he's finally brought down by Spencer Poole, number 0. And with 4:17 left to go, Sheridan now has the football at their deepest point into El Dorado territory. The Yellowjackets on the season, they have been averaging well over 50 points per game. So El Dorado defensively holding them to a spud nut so far. That is really impressive. And here we go. Sturdivant again takes the snap. This time it's a counter to the left side. And finally brought down is number 28, Eli Turner again. That's number 45, Winston Williams. One of the smallest guys on the field, can also pack one of the biggest punches. Also checking in for the Wildcats here is number 15, Jalen Dunn, the sophomore running back, linebacker, safety. He can sell you popcorn at the gate. Check out for number 15. He is one phenomenal player. Sturdivant back to pass. Throws over the middle. Almost intercepted again. Really good defense by number 1, Ja'Cory Lumsey. And it was Jalen Dunn also in on the play. He'll come out here for number 5, Bratavion Brown. What a great half for this El Dorado defense. A great quarter. We're only a few minutes in to throw. And he finally gets it to Turner in the flats, and he'll pick up yet another Yellow Jacket first down. So Sheridan's still going to need to execute in the most crucial portion of the field.
And for the people at home watching, I'd resolve itself here within the next few minutes.
We appreciate your patience. Please don't forget, like and subscribe and share our stream. Sturdivant takes the snap. Lots of pressure from El Dorado. Ball is thrown up, and it's caught. What a catch. That is number 81, Brandon Gostaniki. And the smoke comes back out for the Yellowjackets. It's their first touchdown of the evening, and that'll make your score. Wildcats 21.
A 2-point conversion team, so they are going to try and make it a 8-21 game here.
2:41 left to go in this first. Sturdivant finds an open Hunter Socia in the back of the end zone, and we'll be back right after this on South Arkansas Now.
Spice up your tailgate with locally raised farm fresh products at Davis Farms Country Market, like the new Code 3 and Davis Double D Farm Salsa, fresh from the field in locally grown purple hull peas, super sweet vine ripened cantaloupes, Arkansas made meals that are easy on your wallet and your time. And nothing says fall has arrived like mums and pumpkins. There are plenty to choose from at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
I have no clue.
Only stop has been a self-inflicted fumble. And now the Cats, led by a dominant offensive line, are back out onto the field. Jeremiah Warner in motion. And they get it to Christian Williams in the flat, and he is brought down immediately. A great tackle by number 20, Marcus Thorns.
Christian Williams. Tackleman on the play by Sheridan's number 20.
A great tackle that was made. It's going to set up a 2nd and long for the Wildcats.
And there was a huge missed block on that quick screen to the left. So number 12, Cortland Rozier, one of the better blocking Wildcat receivers, the senior, will come out. Handoff is to Warner to the right side, and he gets stuffed. And this time, the Yellowjackets said, look, we're not going to let you come into our house and blow us off the field. And your score, once again, 21-8. And with less than 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter, El Dorado, unlike Sheridan, will likely punt this ball if they don't pick it up. Jalen Dunn checks in. And tonight, the Wildcats, they're trying their hardest to keep J.J. Samuel on a pitch count to get him fresh for the playoffs. And it will be number 8 for El Dorado, Cannon Jacobs, taking the snap. Back to pass is Cannon. Spins backwards. Cannon Jacobs trying to find somebody. He stops. Throws it up in the air. And it's caught!
Oh my gosh!
Jalen Dunn will score! Cannon Jacobs spun around 3 separate times. There is a flag on the play. A Johnny Manzielian touchdown for El Dorado. Wow! Cannon Jacobs was all the way back in Smackover, turns around, stops, throws up a prayer to number 15, Jalen Dunn, who made an amazing catch. But normally on these plays, you are worried about an offensive lineman traveling too far down the field, and that is exactly what happens here. The El Dorado offensive line thought Cannon Jacobs was running. They run down the field, and the rule is you can't go past 3 yards at the line of scrimmage. So one of the best highlights of the year will be called back. That probably would have put this game away early. And with 1:09 left to go, it is 3rd and 3 creeks for El Dorado. What a throw, what a play, what a ball player in Cannon Jacobs. I just couldn't believe what I just saw. Quads to the right for El Dorado. Cannon Jacobs decides to take a sideline shot to Cortland Rozier, and it's a good pass breakup. That was number 8, Jaden Green, on the play. And El Dorado will punt. Once again, number 7, Justin Hammett, who's somewhat turned into El Dorado's number 1 receiver, is out for tonight's game. So Jacobs, who was the initial punter for El Dorado to start the season, so he has experience doing this, doesn't have the leg of Justin Hammett. Sheridan, special teams-wise, very conservative in their own right. They don't have anyone back deep. And Jacobs with a good spiral punt. This should take a good El Dorado bounce, and it does. All the way back inside the Sheridan red zone here, and the Yellowjackets will take over on their own 19-yard line.
First down and 10 for Sheridan.
What a throw. What a play.
And I want to I want to let everybody know that we are going to restart the stream at the quarter. Hopefully that will get the issues with connectivity fixed for us. Please join us back here at the game after the quarter. There's 33 seconds left to go in the first quarter. We're going to restart the stream afterwards. We hope to see you guys here, and hopefully everything is fixed by then.
El Dorado has been the better team tonight. The scoreline hasn't really been indicative of how much of a blowout it's been, but Sheridan does have a chance here, down 21-8, to cut into this lead and make it a one-possession game. Wildcats put Ja'Cory Lumsey at the line of scrimmage, and he breaks through, and that should be an intentional grounding yet again. And Ja'Cory Lumsey, wow! Oh, they're going to call a late hit on number 74 for El Dorado, Robert Smith. So it was Smith that actually broke through. His helmet flies off. And that's not a penalty you normally see from Robert Smith, one of the least penalized Wildcats on this team, one of the highest IQ football players on this team. It looked very ticky-tack.
Roughing the passer against El Dorado.
So that is a rough call, let me tell you. The Wildcat fans were screaming for intentional grounding.
Well, they did give it intentional grounding, but they also